opinions and beliefs presented on this program do not necessarily reflect those of the management, the affiliates and broadcast partners, or the sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
Scarefest Radio, the radio you can see.
And hello everyone, and good evening, and welcome to Scarefest Television. The original broadcast date, November 7th, 2025. That means this is the first council meeting after Scarefest 17, Scarefest 2025. Tonight, we call this our postmortem. That's why the banner said postmortem. Although the whole thing with making me look dead on the postmortem thing, that was fun. Okay, Bonehead Weekly Reviews, Werewolves tonight. And let's go ahead. Adrian and Brandon are with us tonight. They're glorious. Adrian did as much show in the last month as I did. But Brandon's glorious return to Scarefest TV. So we got that going on.
I'm glad to be back. I didn't realize it was November, actually. Yeah.
It did.
October. Like where'd it go?
Now before we get into Scarefest, I do want to update everybody on a couple of things. This is a new segment that I'm putting on Scarefest
Today
TV.
In
Brandon.
obscure holidays.
Did you hear that? Obscure holidays.
Sorry. Scarlett was asking
She
me
hit the button a little quick.
Oh, sorry.
Retinol. Today is National Retinol Day. National Retinol Day. Retinol is a form of vitamin A that is commonly used in skincare products. It is a retinoid, which is a group of compounds derived from vitamin A. See, now this is all deductible now, Brandon, as an education expense.
Oh, okay.
The benefits of retinol: reduces the appearance of wrinkles and fine lines, improves skin texture and tone, and it can reduce acne and some other shit. So I just want everybody help me celebrate National Retinol Day.
So wait, does that mean then if we talk about meth, then I get to do that and write it off of my taxes?
If I do a graphic first, sure.
Sweet. I've been looking for a way to like get more done.
Now there is one more thing before we get into Scarefest. I'll point when I'm ready for you to load it. Okay, everybody. If you follow me on Facebook, if you're my friend on Facebook, then you saw this morning I posted a news story that really, after mine and Brandon's horrific bear attack in Gatlinburg a few years back, I just wanted a bear. There was a video, but it's copyrighted. I'm not going to show you the video. But the bears are they're feeding. They're getting ready to nestle for winter. But in one bear in Gatlinburg, which Anita thinks is the bear that attacked you and I, it apparently has an odd craving. It wants chainsaws.
I mean, I don't know about attack is a strong word. It was more of like a Frankenstein kind of thing, like where I think it was misunderstood, and then all the patrons of the hotel went to chase it down with golf clubs.
If I had yelled bear, you would be bear feces right now up in the mountain. Anyway, somebody at Ty broke. Anyway, shared ring video, and that's what I had on my Facebook. Now, in the meantime, more video has come in. Right. So, I just want everybody to know how close me and Brandon came to a really tragic.
The only way that could be better is if it was the bald-headed bear of Clare County.
Well, I did not.
Somebody seen The Great Outdoors, I guess. Okay, I guess that reference is just lost. Big Bear Chase.
Okay, everybody. Now we're going to talk about Scarefest. Now, before we go any further, though, we gotta quell some rumors that are going around, Brandon. Last I heard, what was it, 55,000 people?
It was about, no, out of all the rumors that we have to quell, yeah, that one. So the numbers were about the same as last year. Like they aren't that much different. And we took up an extra, 50,000 square foot?
Something like that, yeah.
And so right at, around that 40,000 mark is what we were looking at on the weekend. And so every year folks say the kind of the same thing, like, how are you going to top this year? It's just kind of stampeded onto that. And every year it just seems like, we're able to do that. This year
I was ecstatic when you told me the numbers were the same as last year, because everybody else that we knew of had dropped this year from small cons to big cons.
It's like I go to a lot of shows, and I know that I've seen some trends out there, and nothing against other shows. Like I'm just saying in general, and I think people would agree with me that I've seen some weird things kind of going on as far as like the trend in some shows. And whether it be the economy or what have you, So I was tickled pink with attendance this year. And this was the first year since I've owned it that we had a storm on Sunday.
That's pretty wild.
You were prophetic.
I told you.
To do your
every year.
Indoors.
Every year, I told you, like, if it rains, people are going to be miserable. It's a good year.
Well, for the record, I was still pretty miserable outside telling people to come in the door. But that's fair. So you were just kind of like prophetic, the whole line them up indoor thing. Now, one good thing, people, Brandon did inform me that next year we're not going to do the line building quite as early, so Wesley can get breakfast maybe.
Yes. Before we get too far away from the start of the episode, I would like to make a correction. It is not November. It is currently October 38th.
Oh, bite my ass.
So you
grow up.
It's October 38th.
It's Thanksgiving.
It's not.
I am so sick of people.
No.
You're dragging your ass on Halloween. You're pushing Christmas down my throat.
Yeah, no Christmas, no Thanksgiving. Adrian didn't get to enjoy any of October, so we're having a mulligan. We're having a do-over. So I'm ready to do all the spooky stuff now. We had Scarefest. We've had a little bit of time to recuperate, and I need some spooky in my life.
Dude, I'm with you. I just unpacked my Halloween decorations.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to put my Halloween decorations up now.
I say we do it. I say we go all out. And what's that? We need the Mandela effect.
Yeah, I've been saving up cobwebs all year. I haven't cleaned the cobwebs down at all, so I am ready to go. These spiders have been working hard to decorate my house.
Now, before the people in the chat room start complimenting the shit out of Brandon, I do want to say one thing, Brandon.
Jesus Christ.
Did you see all the compliments on your signage?
Yes, yeah. I was getting ready to say, Brandon, we got to take you down a peg or two.
Well, you probably do have kind of a big head. But Brandon was, no, people won't read signs. They don't want signs.
They won't. They won't read them. And I'll tell you right now.
A bunch of them did.
A bunch of them did. And it helped. I didn't say that it didn't help. I'm just saying, for the majority of time, people don't read signs. It just doesn't happen.
Apparently
now,
they did.
Huge banners and stuff, I don't know the science behind it. Don't know how it works. But I can tell you it's about a 50%.
Yeah.
People read it or people don't. And,
okay, 50%. 20,000 freaking people then read
I know,
your
and
damn
that
signs.
helps. That helps. Hey, half the people out there that read the signs, I thank you. Your con friends, thank you. We thank you. Like, everybody thanks you for reading the signs, taking time to notice them.
Now, and that's funny because it leads into the only actual complaint I got about the convention. It wasn't even a complaint, really. Suggestion. When we bring them in that line going down to line up in the building, They wanted signage down through there because the people that had never been before had no idea until they got down there where to find the film festival, where to find the War Museum, where to find everything. So they wanted signage.
And we can definitely add, and Wes and I talked about that too. Like, where did our trusses end up? Where were the trusses that we rented?
Oh, I wondered that too. I didn't see them all weekend.
We got to ask Adam because I know they went and picked them up. I got the receipt that we picked them up, paid for them, took them back, all that. But I don't know where they were. So they were supposed to be, instead of doing the arches, we were just going to do 4 pillars down the spine. That's where I told them they needed to go up to you in the spine so we could put signage on them. I don't know how you lose 9-foot sections of metal, but yeah.
Same way that the amount of things that we've left behind over the years astounds me.
Yeah.
I mean, there are, when you're moving that much stuff in and out and you're tired, things get left. I've never seen anything not get loaded in, but I've also never seen 10-foot by 30-foot trusses just
disappear.
Yeah.
I don't know where they were. We did rent them though. They were somewhere.
Hope they're not just like laying in the middle of New Circle Road right now. You still haven't paid for it.
Great.
But anyway, so I'm done busting your chops. That's all I had to bust your chops with for the entire episode, Brandon. So I got it out of the way.
I've got some things I'm going to bust my own chops about. And we can get into that later on.
Well, let's go ahead and do our commercial break, and then we'll get into everybody. We're going to talk about what we did right, what we did wrong, and commercial break.
Are you a fan of horror movies, books, comics, music, and collectibles? Rue Morgue magazine is for you. Subscribe today to receive 6 or 12 print issues annually and join me, executive editor Andrea Subisati, on an ongoing journey through the horror genre of the past, present, and future. Plus, get access to unmissable special editions such as A Century of Witches, 50 Years of Gore Cinema, British horror movies, and so much more. Rue Morgue, the world's premier horror and culture and entertainment magazine since 1997. Accept no substitute.
Brandon was telling me a little something during the commercial break, and I just want to say, good. That means they will be belly up to the bar. They didn't bring the hot chick. They did not bring the hot chick, though. I am so disappointed.
They're supposed to next year.
Can't win them all.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm just saying, if I have to work under these conditions, I'm not sure I can do it. I'm just absolutely.
I mean, I feel like we had some hot chicks there.
I agree.
Maybe not the
we
one.
had some hot chicks, but not the one I was in particular looking for.
Oh.
The one from Rue Morgue magazine. That's what I'm talking about, people. Anyway, okay, Brandon, what you mentioned that you want to spend the next 15 minutes, the next segment, talking about celebrity guest list and all this stuff.
I want to talk about things that I thought were really good. And again, we'll get to the things that we need to fix and kind of look at and go on about that. But like, I think first, I want to talk about the guest list. I think the guest list was spot on. Like, I felt like we had a good mix of folks. The Monster Squad thing was huge. I thought that worked out really good. Reanimator, it was a topsy-turvy year on Reanimator for whatever reason. Like, we thought, and a lot of people don't know this. So Barbara, we didn't have her at the first part, and we communicated that once we figured that out. And then that did a complete 180. And then we thought we lost Jeffrey Combs, and we didn't. Where my heart just kind of dropped out of my chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was rough. We had first time appearances, McAvoy, Scott from Friday, Anne Marie, of course, being from Children of the Corn. I love first appearances. They were awesome. Anne Marie wanted to keep my banner that I made.
Mm-hmm.
I thought was really cool. The part 8 folks had a fantastic weekend. Nobody ever does that full cast reunion. I had so much fun with that. And I thought Scott was an excellent guest. Merkovich, excellent guest. Having Jensen and Barbara back is always a pleasure. VC Dupree and the in costume photo op. Like, I can't say enough good stuff about that. Angry Grandma was by far like one of my favorites. I think she livened up the floor a lot. The stuff with her and Kane was awesome, and just the amount of fan pull that like went to her was crazy. Juliette Lewis was an excellent guest. First time we've ever had her.
I know Juliet, I saw some great fan pictures with her. She seemed much more over the top than I thought she would be as far as getting out there and meeting the fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Jericho, like I think we were one of 4 stops for him, and we went down to Florida to see his last stop, and I can tell you, like, I think his stop here was very successful, and I think that a lot of people enjoyed that. That was my breakout session of booking someone that does wrestling, because you guys know me, like I've never really been like, I don't really book wrestlers unless they have some sort of like horror street cred, and he was phenomenal. I think.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah. My Bloody Valentine people were amazing.
Yeah.
Peter Cowper and them. He did a costume change. Chuck that was with him does his costume, and so Chuck redid his costume from his first appearance doing it to this, and I can tell you from looking at both of them, they absolutely did an amazing job. And those guys together, like listening to them banter was just awesome. Peter Cowper may be one of my top 5 favorite guests now.
He was great.
I mean, having all the reanimator folks that came in, I was just, and I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, if you've looked at the pictures from the Hollywood Walk of Fame that Robert did, 80% of those guys, if you put a banner up behind them on Hollywood Boulevard, it would look like a photo op here.
Yeah.
And that is crazy to me. I just thought that the Friday the 13th thing, where we had some cancellations, like there's nothing you can do about that. Unfortunately, the only thing I really missed was Mark Patton. I really wish that Mark was here, and I know that the fans did too. But I mean, we pulled off, one of the biggest Nightmare on Elm Street reunions to date that I'm aware of. If anyone knows of anything bigger, I'll be more than happy to listen. Joe Castro was awesome. Him doing like the makeup and stuff on the floor, like that was, I thought that was really something that stuck out to me.
And I kind of get the impression we've kind of got him hooked.
Yeah.
I think he had a really good time and now wants to be a part of.
Yeah, and there may be something to that. I mean,
he was featured on national news while he was at the show. I mean, that's awesome,
Yeah, I mean, Dana Kimmel, got to go into that. David Arquette, like, if you guys haven't seen the Nightline episode yet, all that stuff, like, I mean, that was, probably 6 or 7 minutes.
I think it was like 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that they could have, like, expanded on a lot of what they did, and I wish they would have done like an hour of footage. Like, they would have run out. But yeah, but the Warrens Museum was absolutely insane down there.
Yeah.
And when Adrian first booked it, like, I started getting nervous.
It was going to cost a lot of money.
But that part, and then like you had like all the people that jumped online and were like, either it was one or the other,
Yeah, I saw. That's like, what I said all along. For every person that said, "Oh, I'm so excited," somebody else was online going, "Well, I'll never go near the goddamn building."
No, and people weren't being like jerks about it.
No,
when I talked to them, Like they were just like, I legitimately don't want to be around that. And I'm like, I totally get it. But that thing blew up.
Yeah.
I mean, people thought that the line for them that was carried over to where Robert was, they thought that was the Robert line.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
anywhere else it would have been.
I've listened to 3 podcasts where they were talking about walking down the hall of level 2 and seeing Robert England's line. And I was like, that wasn't England.
No.
That was Warren's. They absolutely, like, I mean, that was a lot of people that went to Warren's Museum.
Mm-hmm.
And it was something that I thought was really good. I mean, we even got a follow-up article, and I love UK basketball. I don't think Annabelle had anything to do with the string of injuries.
No.
And to be honest, UK football sucked long before this year.
Yes.
Can't put that shit on me. Or actually on Adrian. She booked them.
I know. And, you know, I had several of my family members that were ready to like not talk to me anymore for bringing Annabelle here. But yet somebody asked in the chat, can we invite Nesper back even without the artifacts? You know, the team was amazing. We're still talking, you know, talking about doing stuff in the future with or without artifacts. So yeah, I mean, definitely great group of folks that we had there. They did a phenomenal job. So yeah,
everybody on the second floor was just survive the night.
the night was awesome. Yeah,
Film festival. Rob, Joe doing like the classes, like everything was like on. I felt like it was on point, and the panels, Joe and them, like again, it gets better and better every year with the panels, and I think we were able to pull off some really good. Having the 2 panel rooms and back and forth, because used to, like at one point in time, like I said, we didn't have the space for it at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And we just kind of got away from it or only did a couple. And this year, like Joe stuck the landing on the panels, and I love the panel room on the first floor.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, that
I love that.
Really good.
I love that setup. I absolutely love the screen on there. I love the stage. I'm trying to figure out if I think we need to do kind of that setup in both rooms. But yeah, I really liked it down there. So apart from the panels, like the events in there too. So like Talk is Jericho, Talk Scary to Me, which, you know, that was the last one that they're doing. Like I just felt like all the events were kind of on par. Like I was really happy with how they turned out. And it was stuff that you don't get everywhere else. And even to the extent that like you could watch like the flow of people in and out of the convention floor.
Katie wanted you to know that she also did well.
Ghost,
she hosted.
Yes, Ghost, which I've listened to now. Thank you, Katie. But Katie did an excellent job with that. That generated a lot of conversation, Katie. And even though I'm old and I don't listen to Ghost that much, you made a lot of people happy with that. Layout. This is the first time we've taken over all 3 floors.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll reiterate something that I was saying in the staff meeting. Like when we were doing the walkthrough on Wednesday, and we were doing it on the bottom floor, and you just kind of look up and you see everybody standing like on the stairs, on the seating place, like on the second level landing, and you kind of look around, it really it was really something to take in. And there's some pictures of it on the fans page and on the staff stuff. But looking at everybody in that angle and just realizing that we had taken up all 3 floors was really kind of something amazing to me at that point. Because we never really envisioned it getting to that size. Of course, I also kind of shit my pants a little bit because I was like, are we going to fill this? And what's it going to look like? Because empty space is like the worst thing in the world. But at the same time, like, you don't want, I can't go to a show and see where I want to be and it take 20 minutes for me to get there and have a good time. I think the number of people in the building and the layout the way it was, to me, was a perfect kind of scenario.
The only thing I want to add to that, Brandon, though, now this is just me bullshitting, but if we could figure out the right mix, we were close this year, but down that right-hand hallway on level 2, that panel, the panel room that we had there, the film festival, and the classroom were all in that, and that, for some reason, now they were like normal convention busy.
Yeah.
But with that number of people, we should have been, people either did not know, did not want to, whatever the reason, we didn't drive enough of our crowd down that hallway. And the reason I bring that up, we could figure out the right mix to get, and the right information to get people down that hallway, you can sell another 5,000 tickets. Just going to say it.
Well, and I think that's right. I think something to keep in mind is that we were very cautious this year, because last year, I don't know if anybody saw it or not. Like last year, I kind of messed some things up. So this year, we were very cautious about not recreating that and fixing the problems from last year. Now, in doing that, we really we could have sold more tickets. We could have done more marketing. We could have done a lot more things that would have made it bigger. And we kind of didn't do it.
Right.
Because we wanted to see how this was going to work. Because like it's not difficult to build a big show. It is difficult to make it consistent, and it's difficult to make it to where the fans enjoyed it more this year than they did last year. And so when the ticket system messed up last year, when all that kind of stuff like went south, we were very adamant that we not recreate that. Part of that was just being cognizant of having things spaced out the way they need to be, not overselling the tickets. We could have done a lot more of that stuff.
Oversell last year.
We didn't oversell last year, yeah. But this was the first time we had all 3 floors, and I didn't know what that was going to look like or how many.
Yeah.
Well, it's all saying the plan worked. Matter of fact, I think you're kind of leaning towards we overcompensated in a few ways, but the plan worked. Now, if you want to grow a little bit, just saying, I think we could do it.
I think there's room to add on. Carefully.
Let me clear my throat before we do the announcements here. Excuse me. We should go ahead and do that. Mark it in your calendars, people, if you didn't already hear it. October 23rd through 25th, 2026. That is Scarefest weekend for next year. So mark your calendars now. And we are doing a little thing called Spawn of Scarefest in 2026, June 5th through 7th, 2026 at the Marriott Griffin Gate right there in Lexington. And in relation to that, vendor applications went online. They went online just this week. So you can look that up. Go to Scarefest. Well, actually, that one you go to spawnofscarefest.com. Spawnofscarefest.com. And of course, you can find the link in the fan group. I do want to give a little quick shout out to Central Kentucky Mystical Market. That is coming up next weekend, October 17th. What, is it next weekend or 2 weekends away? November. Yeah, 15th, 16th. I'm sorry.
Not October.
I looked at the wrong dates. November 15th through 16th, Central Kentucky Mystical Market. Go to scarefestweekend.com or look them up on Facebook. And finally, quick shout out to Barb doing at Fear of the Talking Heads. Tonight, story time with Mick Strawn. Bet that was an easy episode to make, because that's all the man does, tell stories. But he's very interesting. I don't want to say anything bad about him. He's very, very interesting. A lot of fun. Fear the Talking Heads. Go to youtube.com/at Fear the Talking Heads.
Okay, so this is Scarefest, and I am talking with
the adulting axolotl. Did I say that right?
Yes, you got it.
Awesome. Okay, now, if you don't mind, introduce yourself to everyone.
I am Chris Coots, and this is
Sam Thompson.
Okay, and are you local or are you from?
we are from Harrodsburg, Kentucky, which is about 40 minutes away from Lexington, so not too far away.
Well, that's good.
Local-ish.
Well, around here, the way everybody drives, 100 miles is local.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So, what do you have here? I mean, I'm seeing, and I'm going to pan away from you here for a little bit. So, I'm seeing all this amazing artwork and purses, and I saw bookmarks, and those are small clutch-style purses.
Yeah, we dabble in a little bit of everything. Majority of our stuff is we license through artists. We have commissions done through multiple artists.
Yes.
From all over the United States, and even we have one of our primary artists from Chile. She does all of her paintings.
Okay.
So those are actual paintings that she does, and we have it. We have print on fabric, we create blankets, we do T-shirts, a little bit of everything, like I was saying.
Awesome, awesome. So, how have you done this weekend? I know it's Saturday now, so you had a little bit yesterday and today.
It's a little bit of a calm now, but it's been pretty busy.
Yeah, it's been busy.
Most of the day.
See, I would say that because I walked through, always seen it crowded.
Yes.
And I had to walk through at least half a dozen people to get up here.
Yeah. We like that.
So, now, one of the questions on everyone's mind, I'm sure, is what is an axolotl?
Okay, it's an amphibian that is in South America.
Yes.
It's in Mexico,
Yeah,
right?
it's mostly native to Mexico.
Yes.
And it's kind of popular because of how cute it looks, the little
Right.
eyes. When we created the name, it was when her and I used to own a custom fabric
business.
company,
Yeah.
Awesome.
custom fabric business, and we had some. Well, I'll let you explain it.
Yeah, so it was all about different critters and everything, and we were trying to appeal to like more of the adults versus kids, and so I love alliteration, and I was like, you know what, an adulting axolotl would be hilarious because Melvin, our axolotl, is just kind of tired of adulting like the rest of us. Wanted something relatable, and then this was 7 years ago or so, and then
Quite a while.
we transitioned from the fabric to finished products at that point.
So, axolotl is kind of like a living anime creature, isn't it?
It's an animal. It's an animal that lives in the waters of South America.
No, I mean, it looks like an anime character.
The way we had Melvin drawn, we wanted it
cutesy
fun
and everything else.
Yeah, that's kind of the point. We wanted a tired-looking axolotl.
Right.
It's a little bit of whimsy, something silly.
And fun and silly.
Awesome. So what do you have to say about everyone turning out for Scarefest?
We're so glad that y'all have made it. Without the guests coming to shows like this, we wouldn't have a business. So we love talking to people, seeing all the creative cosplays, just seeing just such a wide variety of folks is really nice. And the fact that con spaces are such a safe space, and there's hardly ever any fights or disagreements, and in today's world it's so hard to find. We just really appreciate all the patrons coming and being friendly to everyone, and it's really nice.
Well, that's awesome. I hope everybody shows up and buys a purse for every pocket.
There you go.
You guys have a great rest of the convention.
All right, thank you.
And we're back with Scarefest TV doing our post-mortem. Okay, what are we talking about now, boys?
Let's talk about lines.
My
Talk
favorite.
about like the thing that we spent the most time fixing. And I think it worked. I think it was beautiful to watch from beginning to end. If you disagree, I would welcome the feedback. Moving the line inside all the way up to the ticket booth. The ticket booth absolutely kicked ass this year. We revamped the entire thing, ground up. Adam and his team did an excellent job. And I think people on the inside agreed that it was better than baking in the sun.
Well, from what I heard, once the line started moving, like on Saturday, it was like 30 minutes if you were in that line indoors to get in the convention.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds about right.
It moved quick. And even when we depleted that line, So we had that line on the second floor of the inn
Right.
door, but then we filled that up, and then we were still scanning in when the door opened. We had a line back to the center, back to where like it crossed at Rupp Arena,
Yeah.
and the ticket booth moved that line quickly and efficiently. We doubled. I told everybody last year what we were going to do. I said we were going to update our equipment. We were going to make sure that we had backup to Wi-Fi. I said we were going to double what we did at the door as far as like check-in points. I think we stuck to that promise, and I think that people saw it this year. We were able to handle the crowds from last year.
Nothing but praise, and that's unusual. I mean, going back to Scarefest 10, I mean, never have I not heard somebody complain about the entrance line.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, going back to Scarefest 10, I freaked out when the line was around the food court outside.
Oh, and it's going up the escalator. I remember them days.
I nearly like had a coronary. I was like, oh my God, we're never going to be able to sustain this. And fast forward, to now, and we're dealing with a line that is like 10 times longer than that. Like, yeah. I've aged in dog years over that line. Last year, man, people still don't understand exactly what messed up last year, even though we went through and discussed it and talked about it. A lot of people were pissed off about it, and I totally understand it. And if you go back in and look, I went online and I talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I said everything that was wrong, exactly what happened, and what the issues were. And then I said what we were going to do to fix it. And even the people that I talked to from last year that were upset about that, noticed that we had made a huge change this year.
Yep.
So the folks that gave it another chance, if they hadn't been here in a while, or if they had been coming for years and got mad last year and was like, I had a lot of conversations where it was like, I was mad last year, but I was like, I'll give it one more shot. And I get that. I've said the same thing myself a million times, which is why I said last year that we're not going to repeat the mistakes. And so we planned for every contingency. Gal and them absolutely killed it. Adam killed it. His entire team, logistics, did an excellent job. There were things that everyone always thinks that Saturday is the roughest day for a show, but it's not. Friday is the roughest day for a show.
It's the scariest day. I don't know, roughest, but scariest.
Just trying
those things are analogous in my mind.
Yeah.
Because like when you're breaking out new systems and stuff, and you're fixing problems, you can plan for months. You can talk about it for hours.
We do.
When you get in that building,
and it's game
start
on.
Moving things around.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're going to be dealing with until you get there, and you have to adjust. Friday is an adjustment day, and so, with the exception of a few hiccups on Friday, that we made changes. We talked about it as it happened. I couldn't be happier personally. Now, if you've got a problem, I want to hear about it. But personally, this was the con that I had envisioned running when I walked in the door. I couldn't have been happier with how that was handled this year. If you had a bad experience, then I definitely want to hear about it. But I'm going to tell you from a holistic standpoint of looking at it from just stepping back and looking at all of it. I was more happy with this show than I have been with any other show that we've ever done. And that is not just talking about the line. It's talking about everything working together. Mm-hmm. So the ticket office, Adam's team, Stars Row, everything, I think gave a better fan experience than what a lot of people are used to.
Totally.
Now, I will say this. I want to clarify some stuff in the chats that I've watched. And I kind of get where some people are coming at with this. The Robert England line. Now, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, after the Matthew stuff, we went, and Adrian, Wes, all of us went above and beyond explaining how this was going to work. Now, there was a couple hiccups on the first day, nothing major. But I'm going to tell you right now, we didn't know how many passes we were going to give out every day. We had no clue. And so one of the big things that I saw, like on the fan page, was that they know how many passes they're handing out. Why can't they just say how many passes they're handing out? We don't. That's why if you look at the videos where people are explaining how the line skips are, they're not just printed out beforehand. Well, they're printed out, but we sign each one of them. We number each one of them. We do that every day because we don't know how many people for VIPs or general admission or weekend plus. There's no way of knowing how many people Robert's going to move into on a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Do we spend a huge amount of time doing that? More than any other show in the world.
Yeah.
And we don't do that, I don't know, because we want to make Robert more money.
And that actually, also to add to that, the only gripe I got about the line building really on him was the whoever got cut off. But once again, we didn't cut the line off.
Oh, and I get that.
Well, no, I'm going to say this because he's probably in the chat. There were some people that got there early, waited, did everything they were supposed to do, and the line still got cut before it got to them. And they said, you know what? I did a photo op because I did everything right, and it just didn't get to me. And that's the thing. We talked about this. We talked about it to death. My biggest thing that I'm probably the most sensitive about, and I've been really honest about this, like when we had guest cancellations, Brandon makes those posts. You don't see me in the comment sections on those because when people are mean, it hurts my feelings. People and everybody that's watching right now, I would say that not a single one of you are like this because you all are on here, you're listening to what we're talking about, you're supporting the show, you're getting as much information as you can. No one is more upset when a guest cancels than we are because we put hours and hours and thousands of dollars of investment into bringing people, booking their rooms, booking their travel, promoting them, doing their online paid marketing, setting up their photo ops, communicating. It would make people dizzy the amount of emails that I send out for one guest. Every detail about the logistics for their trip is communicated. Like, it is a nauseating amount of work. And when a guest cancels, yeah, absolutely. People that have, bought tickets, they're coming to the show. We try to tell everyone, like, don't come just for one guest. Some people still, they've got that one person they want to meet, and we get it. I'm going to give you all an example. And there's been a couple of people that, I've talked to since the show, and I've told this story to. I'm not going to say the guest's name, but we actually had one of our bigger guests canceled our show this year. They canceled our show and they were like, hey, we're not going to be able to make it. And we started frantically trying to figure out what can we do to make this happen? Like, we don't want to lose this guest. And we had to do a lot of things behind the scenes, changing trips, changing hotels. It cost us $3,000, but we worked it out. They were able to come to the show, and no one ever knew. But that kind of stuff happens. And the folks that are on here right now, I mean, it's November. So you all are our lifers and we love you so much. And just, to kind of just be a little raw and uncensored about it. A lot of the stuff, when people get on and they say, oh, the show does this to make more money and they do this, first off, we have to make money to exist. So yes, we have to sell admission tickets. That's true. But we keep the costs for our events, our tickets, our vendor spaces, everything that we do as absolutely low as we possibly can. inflation affects everything. We're going to have tickets go up next year. You're going to see some price increases. We're going to talk about that probably next month into January when we get ready to release our tickets in February. We're going to talk about it, but it has to happen. So, you know, I have seen some people that you can tell like they've never watched our shows. They've not been involved in the groups, and they get on there and they complain about stuff like the ticketing systems. We don't make any money on that stuff. So yeah, it can be hard. And right after the show, when we're all so exhausted and, you know, just beat to a pulp. This year though, I got way of all the emails that I got after the show, the text messages, the comments, I would say 99.5% of those were positive.
Yeah.
I don't know if other shows can say that. I had like 2 complaint emails. That's it. 2. And yeah, it blew my mind. So
well, and just to piggyback onto that too, I would welcome, and most of you guys, like, you know, when this video gets shared, but most people like in the chat, most people that watch this every week, like they've met us, like they know what it is. They know what we strive to do. And you're not going to find a show that's more transparent, I don't think. If there is, I've never seen it.
yeah.
And, you know, when you get into like, I hate cancellations more than anybody. Nobody here hates cancellations more than me.
Yeah, for real.
Because it kills my soul. But like, when you see cancellations at some shows, you'll see mass exodus. And you know what the reason for that is? Is because it's been they've overextended themselves and they cancel guests because it happens.
Yeah.
Anybody that's been to a show or knows how this system works, it exists. If a show can't afford guests and they've overbooked themselves, they will get canceled sometimes.
Yep.
Here, I'll sell my van.
Literally.
I have to do that.
Yeah.
I think I put that out there pretty well.
Yes.
Yeah. But you will never see us. And again, this is not a slide to other shows. I don't want anybody to get that because
No.
I love other shows. Everybody has a different way of doing things. I'm not saying ours is right. But one thing that I am very, very adamant about is that if there's a cancellation, it's not 2 sentences and done because it's missed. If I just write a paragraph saying that so-and-so canceled, nobody sees that. Nobody reads it. Maybe some, but not all. You've got to put it out there in big, bold letters, and you can't just brush it away. There's no worse feeling for a con goer, in my opinion, than to go to a show and then not see a cancellation or not know it happened until they get there. And I've seen it happen. It's happened to me. I swore that would never happen here. You know, that aside, like, you know, again, cancellations are cancellations. I'm still crying over Lori Hallier.
Yeah, that was a bummer.
And John Jarrett, but all those had reasons. And
yeah,
any show right now, like during the shutdown, you'll see it. We started feeling that during the show, and what we were seeing like seismic vibrations of is hitting full force right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's another thing. Like, we talked about this a little bit, but we haven't done one of these. The flights, the cancellations, the delays, the reroutes, like, we knew that some of that stuff was going to happen. And, you know, we had 130 some odd flights coming in. It was insane, like the changes and how much like back and forth. And I mean, at one point, like Adam at was it Thursday night? Adam, Robinson, JW, maybe Joe Howard, like our logistics team had to get on buses and go to the airport. I mean, like, you know, and it was just craziness. But like this year had a lot of like, you know, the hotels being sold out in Lexington.
Oh my God. Yeah, just for anybody that doesn't know, like this year in Lexington, you had Adam Sandler on Thursday at Rupp. Then you had Family Weekend for the University of Kentucky.
And homecoming and the
Kingdom.
black and white game.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And Texas was playing UK.
Yeah.
This was like, I don't know why they had that much crap scheduled in 1 week, because Scarefest has come to be like 40,000 people in downtown Lexington is a lot. And so I mean that really kind of sent the hotel room stuff like in a spiral. But I want to go back real quick. There was several comments in the social media stuff, and this was one I wanted to address specifically. Robert England's line was open to general admission every day.
Yes.
100%. Mm-hmm. So no matter what you read, no matter what some guy goes on there and posts, our system, in my mind, and if you go around to any show, I will take the Pepsi challenge with them. What Adrian came up with is the best system to do it. You get VIP, you get Weekend Plus, and general admission was in the mix. So anyone that says general admission wasn't open, that's just flat out false. Mm-hmm. Anyone that says that we knew exactly how many line vouchers we were handing out, 100% not the case.
Nope.
It was the best system that I know of that levels the playing field, that allows VIPs and the people that pay extra money for those perks, but also not to bypass the general admission, because you cannot bypass the general admission. They have to have a way that they can get in and get the autographs that they need if they're willing to put in the time commitment. And so not one person that I saw stand in line, and I talked to them all every year, the people that were there the night before that spent the night, I don't think anybody missed that autograph.
One other thing before I lose it, someone asked, is that why the 2026 dates got pushed back a week? So a couple of things I want to talk about. The 2026 dates didn't actually get pushed back a week. The 25 dates and 24 dates got moved up a week. So in 2021, we were October 22nd through the 24th. And in 22, we were the 21st through the 23rd. So this is the weekend that we wanted to be on. It was actually the last 2 years that we had to move up into the middle of the month. And we set the dates for this year's show 3 years ago. So when we're, and like right now, and we can't, until we go under like signed contract, we don't release the dates, but we have our dates up through 2030. Like, we block off the times with the convention center years in advance because we have so much space. We have to do that. So we did not move the dates this year. We went back to where we wanted to be, just to clear that up, because I've seen several people asking about it. Like, this is the weekend that we want. The last full weekend before, the last weekend of the month, Halloween weekend. We want the weekend before that.
Yeah, and everybody's got to remember, like, we've reached a general like homeostasis with other shows, because nobody benefits when Scarefest, Monster Mania, Love of Horror, all those shows, when we're all booking at the same time. Nightmare Weekend in Richmond, and a lot of you guys saw that this year. Nobody benefits from cross booking on those dates.
Yeah.
So a lot of the larger shows, which is funny for us to say that now, it kind of blows my mind a little bit, but like the larger shows tend to fall into their weekends and watch where other ones go. And we're in a good, like that's where we are supposed to be.
Yeah.
So I think some of the booking, I haven't looked online what everyone else is doing right now for 26. But I'm good with my date, with our dates for that year.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy with it. And also, as far as athletics go, we won't know the athletic schedule for a couple more months. Now, we got some inside sources, so we find out like months before it goes public if there's going to be a game or not. So like we can know that, but we can't talk about it. So, you know, like I don't know, maybe we'll have to do like a special wink or, you know, like a sign, or like if I pull my ear and like tap my nose twice, you all know like but it's good practice. You know, we've already got some blocks for 2026. I'm going to be calling some places and trying to get us some fan blocks. But you guys have to wait till like several people are like, I already have my room. If we go ahead and we book our rooms right now, they're going to jack the up. Let me get the fan blocks first. Yeah. I can't get the fan blocks more than a year out. I have to wait until this show is over and get the fan blocks. And we had several places last year that wouldn't give us a fan block because they already had so many people booking rooms. You shoot yourself in the foot. Wait until I get the discounted blocks. If you're trying to get your hotel right now, don't do it. You're part of the problem. Like in the best way, but don't do it.
You're messing up the bell curve.
Yeah.
And
Stop it.
Let's do Bonehead Weekly, and then we'll come back. You still got your unboxing to do, Adrian?
Oh yeah, I got the scissors all done and everything. So it's just
we'll run long tonight. We still got more stuff to do. We'll be back in a minute.
Yay!
Hey, Scarefest fans, this is Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly, and this week's review is from a movie that's not only on the Hulus, but the director has been interviewed by me on Bonehead Weekly, Stephen C. Miller. The movie is Werewolves. If you've never heard of Werewolves, that's okay. It's a movie that came out in 2024, and it's a Hulu. It's not really a Hulu exclusive, but basically what it is it's not necessarily, it's kind of more not futuristic as much as it is an alternate timeline. And what it does is it takes place in a world where the supermoon happens a year or so two ago. And what happens is all these people across the planet, several different, turn into werewolves and attack people. And then it's gone after a day, only when the supermoon happens. And once it's over with, they kind of come back. And then the scientists over the last few years or the year have been trying to prepare and come up with a vaccine to save everybody, and people are boarding up their houses and whatnot because that's what happens. Family. And then what happens is there's this mom and daughter, and her brother-in-law, played by Frank Grillo, is a scientist. That's one of the more unbelievable parts of this. Nothing, Frank Grillo's chiseled and whatever and is a good actor, but the scientist thing's a little hard to believe. He is trying to help save everyone and work with another lead scientist named Dr. Arenada, who is played by the great Lou Diamond Phillips, who's one of the nicest people you can ever meet. And as they try to come up with this vaccine, and his sister-in-law and his daughter or his niece are at home alone. And that's because his brother or whatever got killed the last time the werewolves came out and whatnot. We don't really get all the story, and maybe I just missed it. That's the plot. He leaves them to go off to do this where they think they've got the serum, but they can't test it till the supermoon comes back. Did I like this movie? Actually, I did. There's a lot of different parts about it that I quite like. It suffers a lot from its low budget as it goes through, but Stephen Miller does the best he can, getting the most he can out of a lot of this. There's a lot of blood. There's a lot of werewolves once the werewolf thing happens. And I kind of like the way those snouts a little cartoonish, but for the most part, you see them walking around. They move. You know who they are because you can kind of see the clothes or a little bit on them to let you know, oh, this werewolf was this person. He gets a lot out of the werewolves. Of course, the serum doesn't quite work. And then he gets caught up in some stuff where the break out of the lab of these werewolves, and then he has to try to make his way across town to save, his sister-in-law and his niece. That's the story. Should you check out Werewolves on Hulu? If you like werewolves, yes. If you like Lou Diamond Phillips, yes. If you think Frank Grillo's hot, yes. If you're looking for anything other than a B-level werewolf film, kind of low budget, with a nifty little idea, then not so much. Like I said, Stephen C. Miller is one of the nicest directors I've ever interviewed, and I think he gets as much as you possibly can with the budget and out of this script. He does a really good job. It's just at the end of the day, would you have liked to have seen a big scope movie with werewolves across the planet and all that? Yeah, and yeah. There's a lot to be said. There's a lot you could have done with this. So, should you check out Werewolves on Hulu? Yeah, if you're looking for a B-level film where there's blood and guts, there's some action. He does even some nifty things. I want to ask him or interview him. Quadash, if he was where they do the mask thing where they can pretend. I was like, you cut some days down with some talent so you could save some money. You'll notice it when you see it now that I brought it up. So check out Werewolves on Hulu. This has been Joe Lewis at Bonehead Weekly. Rawr.
That's funny.
I have more fun than people should be allowed.
That was super cute.
Okay. Adrian, what are you going to do your unboxing?
Oh, yes. Okay. So, I was at a show this last weekend. Well, let me back up. So normally after Scarefest, I try to take a few days off and get some rest. I have not taken a day off yet. Like I've had a couple of like blocks, like hour chunks of time where I've, taken off, but nothing to completely unplug yet. This last weekend, I was going to go on vacation for a few days, and I ended up going to a horror convention, went to Spooky Empire, talked about Scarefest the entire freaking time I was there, man. I saw so many people that I know. I had a fantastic time actually getting to walk around and talk to people who were just guests at our event, and people walking up and talk. It was great. But one of my favorite,
I finished getting autographs.
He did, yes. Brandon did, and he yeah, it was a good time. But the masks look phenomenal. So one of my favorite vendors that I saw there. Now, several of our vendors were there. I love them very much, but this was a new vendor for me. And they, so it's Alchemy and Artistry, and they've got this series called Octo Cuties. Now, some of you all may know, but I'm like a sucker. Yeah, I know it was. So one of the ones that I bought while I was there, it was the only thing I could fit in my carry-on because they're so fragile. But I got this little guy. I'm look at him, he's got his little ghosty, right? And then I bought another one, but I couldn't get it on the plane with me. So I had them ship it, and it came in today, and I'm so excited. I got the box open, but I haven't taken it out yet. And Wes was like, oh, we can do an unboxing. So here it is.
We've never done an unboxing.
Yeah, we've never done an unboxing. So this little guy, and you guys are going to have to help me find a name for him. But this is the little guy I got. And look, he's got a little Mothman. So yeah, that's him. So this is this one. And here's this one. And they both need names. So you guys want to give me some suggestions on some cool names for these guys. And again, it's Alchemy and Artistry. Hopefully you all will be seeing them at a Scarefest weekend in the future, because the big piece that they had, which I didn't get, I've been kicking myself. It was a wall art, and it had like a figure coming out of it. It was super cool. But anyway, so hopefully we will have them at Scarefest weekend in the future, and you guys can also see some Octo Cuties.
To piggyback onto that, I'd like to say that, like, oh my God, I enjoy going to other shows so much.
Yeah.
And that sounds bad, I guess, maybe from a certain standpoint, but like, I love going to shows and not having any responsibility.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Wait, why do I go all the shows when I have a responsibility?
No, we don't have a booth. Like, we can just go. Like,
I know. You go to those shows. I go to the shows where we have booths.
Well,
you haven't noticed that?
Fair.
Well, yeah, because I trust you to run those booths, and like, I don't trust myself. Like, I'm going down there. Like, I had to look, Wes. Sometimes I go to shows that aren't mine because I'm a nerd and I need to get my signatures, and sometimes I can't get them at my show. And so I just get to go and like not have any responsibility, and there's a handful of those that exist. And we're not going to do shows
don't
that are
complain
forced.
About my hotel bill next year. Just saying.
I did complain about this year.
You did. Tennessean, I remember.
Oh well.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry about it.
That was partly my fault because I'm kind of bougie and weird about not like having to commute when we go to shows, but like it was awesome. Yeah, I think you nailed it though, like getting to go and not having a responsibility and like, oh, there's something broken over here, like, oh well, that's not my job, you know.
Yes.
It's really cool. But you know, it was a great show. It was a great show. I've never been before. The hotel was huge. The resort, I mean, it was crazy. Of course, I mean, it's a resort. It's a stone's throw away from Universal and Disney and all of that. So everything was ridiculously expensive. But it was a good time. Airport delays weren't terrible. Now, one thing I will say, two things actually that have nothing to do with Scarefest, is just personal preference. Flying back, I got to the airport a little bit early, and I got checked in. You know, I did my early check-in on my phone, and it was like, hey, would you like to upgrade to first class for $60? And I was like, I got a pretty tight connection. Like, yeah, I'll do that. That's awesome. I've never flown first class before. I'm 5'3", and generally, you know, I don't have very high standards. So, you know, but yeah, I did it. And then not 5 minutes after I upgraded to first class, I got a notification that my flight was delayed, meaning that my connection in Charlotte was going to be even shorter. And if you are familiar with Charlotte International Airport, it sucks. I mean, sorry, Charlotte, but like, here's the airport, and then you've got kind of less cute, but like the octopus, it's got like A, B, C, D, E. I landed in A, and I landed at A12, and I had to get to E39. It is a 30-minute walk.
That's always the way it happens in Charlotte. And like, Charlotte is what I like, and again, nothing against it, but it's like some Thunderdome.
Yes.
Everyone is out for themselves.
We were all running.
Like,
I mean, it's
one step away from like feral.
Yes.
Like, yeah, it gets nuts. Like,
yes. Yep. And I should have eaten at the airport before we took off, but I didn't do that. And then we get up to the gate, and they tell us like, hey, the pilot just came from Charlotte to here, and he said the turbulence is so bad that you're not going to be able to get out of your seat to go pee during the flight. So if you need to pee, go do it now. And the stewardess they're not going to be able to get up, the flight attendants, they're not going to be able to get up and come to you for like a drink or a little snack or anything. They're going to be sitting down the whole time. So I'm like, okay, but we're in first class, right? So I get in. I missed them calling first class because I normally never have to pay attention to that. So I got on the plane a little bit late, and the guy that I was sitting next to had to get up and let me in. I'm like, sorry, man, I was talking, and you know, I was late. And he's like, oh, there's worse reasons to be late. And this man was amazing. We're best friends now. I don't know his name, but he's my homie. And we talked the whole time. And then we get there, and we actually made pretty good time, but our gate wasn't clear. So we had to sit on the runway, and we landed 4 minutes before his flight started to board. And we didn't get up to the gate until 20 after. So his flight had been boarding for 15 minutes when we went to get off the plane. And the pilot of the plane like opens the doors, and we're waiting at the door to get off the plane. And he opens the little pilot's room, and we're talking to him. And it turns out he was having to catch the same flight as the guy sitting next to me. And he's like, man, we're just going to have to run. And the guy next to me had just had his hip replaced. The man is 70 years old. And he was like, dude, don't you have anybody you can call? And the guy's like, well, how much money do you have? So you're right. Everybody was out for themselves. It was nuts. But by the time I got to my next flight, I was out of breath. My shins hurt. My feet hurt. I was sweating, and I was so mad. But we got there, got on the plane. Everything was fine. And we did have some turbulence, but.
I'm going to tell you right now, two things. Charlotte, every time I'm in there, the thing that enters my mind is planes, trains, and automobiles when Steve Martin is running for the cab. like in Chicago. That's
Yeah.
how I'm there every single time. And two, my flight got delayed for 2 hours while we were sitting on the plane because we didn't have a friggin' co-pilot.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, I don't know much about flying. I'm assuming that's important. And I'm
Yeah.
assuming that, that the airline will provide that.
Yeah. That's something. Oh, it was bring your co-pilot to work day. You didn't know?
No, I mean, I feel like I can do the job if there's a
Yeah,
manual.
most guys do. Yeah.
I mean, I could have stepped in, I think. I've seen enough movies.
Someone just mentioned officiating a wedding. Matt Ward said, I sat next to and met the guy who officiated Brandon and Nicole's wedding on my flight home from Orlando once. So that reminds me, we were in Spooky. Some of you may know Myra. She always sits with Kane every time he's at the show. Myra's helping him out. They're good friends. Myra's going to get married on Sunday night at Spooky, which we don't have enough time for me to tell you the entire story. But Kane actually officiated the wedding. So Brandon, Nicole, Scarlett, and I, we went down and we got to watch Kane Hodder officiate a wedding, which thankfully I had my fanny pack from Scarefest, which had a packet of pocket tissues in it, which is good because a lot of people cried. It was quite the experience. So, now we're going to have to see if we can get Kane to maybe set up one of those little wedding chapels at Scarefest weekend.
So a lot of people don't realize this, that something that me and Kane have in common is that we're both of the cloth.
Yeah. Brandon said.
So we're both ordained. We both signed up. I mean, you can Google this shit and figure it out. But yes, I can perform marriages. I am legally able to do so. Kane is now also legally, so we can double marry people. And so
Brandon
he signed off on the marriage certificate, and I signed off as
the
witness because I have the credentials.
And I yelled out, I said, Kane, how much are you charging for that autograph?
And if she really wants to go a step above and beyond, she could get that shit JSA certified.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's an investment. It's an investment.
Brandon, Scott asked, he said, glad to see you survived Grandpappy Concred, by the way.
Oh, God. I'm still sick because, I think I've interacted or I've been around 80,000 people in the last 3 weeks.
I'm gonna knock on
flying.
But and some people know this, but I was not the week before Scarefest. I normally would get on and do some lives or do a walkthrough video or something. I don't know if everybody knows this, but not the Tuesday right before the show, but the Tuesday before that, I got sick, and I was sick for 8 days. I didn't even start feeling better until walkthrough day, Wednesday. And the last week before the show is when I need to be operating at maximum capacity. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. We were really running on fumes this year. And I still, with as bad as I felt and with as little sleep as I got, I still never got anywhere near the point where I could sleep on the office floor, Brandon.
It's easier said than done when you're exhausted. And I mean, when I got Concrud, I was doing everything except snorting Flintstone vitamins.
Yeah.
I was taking 2 at a time. If they'd offered a Flintstone suppository, I would have done that.
Well, it's just like real estate, Brandon. Location, location, location.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm going to stand by this. I licked Wes's face from jawline to hairline, and I didn't get sick. I did Scarefest.
But oddly enough, I did. Just saying.
That was Adam, though. Adam got you all sick, not me.
Adam didn't lick me. It kind of hurts.
Adam told me he hadn't had a flare-up in months. I just believed him.
Yeah, it was a good time. So, but honestly, I think the big thing after Scarefest 2024 was just it was exhausting because we had so many glitches, so many, I mean, I say glitches, but like they were major things. Like people had legitimate complaints. There was a lot going on, and that is just mentally exhausting when you like give it your all and then to have things just not go right, and then having to tell people like this is why you didn't have a good time because of this thing, and owning that. Like, but this year the energy from the show, like I don't think I slept more than 4 hours a night for the 2 weeks leading up to the event. No naps. And then the weekend of, I slept about 4 hours each night. But I didn't need to sleep more. Like I was so happy. I was so very, very happy and like getting to see everybody. But I'll tell you all, I don't know if anybody can relate to this. I don't really know how to put it into words, but like when the show was closing on Sunday, like it was like time wasn't real. And I think that part of that was because like I hadn't slept a lot, but it doesn't seem like it was, the 5 days that we were there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And it felt like it went by in the blink of an eye this year. I didn't get to shop with any vendors. I didn't get to like do anything. We were just running constantly. But it was all good. Like nothing catastrophic.
It wasn't bad running. Like 24 was like Murphy's Law.
Yeah.
If it can go wrong, it'll go wrong. And so like anything, yeah, just that in and of itself, like 24 was rough, but like this year
was amazing.
When 24, like I spent a lot of time like talking to people, like it was kind of even killed. I had even conversations on people like not happy about the line versus like people that were ecstatic that were having the best time of their life. It was a 50-50 shot.
Yep.
This year, I mean, I had people stopping me like left and right, and I didn't. It was all positive.
Yep.
I mean, there was a point. There was a lady that stopped me in the main hallway upstairs and like cried because she had been there for she'd been coming for so many years, and we had a whole conversation about it, and it just kind of goes back to like that, and when you talk to the vendors, like the amount of people that depend on this thing to happen and to depend on the decisions that we make and things we do and fixing problems and all this stuff, it just impacts a lot of people, and I don't want people to think that we take it lightly. Like when I started doing this, when me and Nicole got into it, like it was a good idea starting out. Like we enjoyed it. Like I had always gone to cons, and like it was just something I wanted to do and try. And the first few years were not successful. But then it turned a point, and like I was saying in the staff meeting, there was a time where I was scared when October was showing up, or how we were going to make things work. And that pivoted, when we came back in 21, 22, 23. And it's just become something I'm exponentially proud of. And when you have like folks stop you, like when you're walking down the hallway, whether they're mad or whether they're happy, like I welcome the engagement either way.
Yeah.
But when you have someone grab you and talk to you about what it means, fun, like it just.
Wes did a whole
lot of work
about people not grabbing people.
Yes, I did.
But what I'm saying is like it's just a lot to take in. Like this year was, like I said earlier, when I thought about what Scarefest could be and what I wanted to see it be, this was the year that it kind of happened. And yeah, that's a lot to take in. And now it's keeping it consistent.
We need more fiber in our diet.
Yeah, like we need to live longer. We take better care of ourselves.
Yeah, run 5Ks. Wes does that part for us.
Yeah, but I'm still figuring I'm out of here in 10 years, folks.
And when you guys see us, like whether like, I cannot tell you how much it means. Like when we all kill ourselves, and like somebody just stops us while we're walking, and says thank you.
Yeah, yeah, that's.
I cannot begin to tell you how much that means. And
That's my favorite part. Like you said, even if people aren't happy, like, you know, if they have something that they want to, you know, talk to us about, but yeah, it's that, you know, yeah, it's good.
People that come up, even when they're not happy, they're passionate about it.
Mm-hmm.
I would take that over not hearing anything at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's what we have here is not something that you come across ever. It's just not common. And I just want to thank everybody, I guess is what I'm saying.
Right. I was being funny. Brandon's being sappy.
Sorry, I get this way every year.
Is there anything else?
It's the meds.
It is. That's what I'm, yeah. Is there anything?
It's a lack of sleep and like going to Florida and then coming back.
Room, you wanted to talk about adjustments, room for improvements. We talked about the 2026 show dates. Spawn, we're going to have to find another time to talk about Spawn because it's.
Oh, yeah, we're running out of time, but we've got to figure out a better way of doing like the VIP stuff this year, I think.
Yeah.
Because we've got more space and we could probably accommodate more. And I think one of the biggest things that we heard at the beginning of last year was, yeah, we do allow these to renew their passes, and we feel like that's fair. But what we also heard was that there's a crap load of people that want to get VIP passes.
Yeah.
Or the weekend pluses.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're looking at that to see what we can do, because there's room for adjustments based on what we know now, having all three levels and that added space. So yeah, that's a big thing that we're going to have to look at. Now, ticket sales and everything is going to kind of fall in with what we did last year.
And one of the things that I wanted to ask, and like, this is something, I don't know, we could maybe do a poll, we could put it out to the VIPs, like, a lot of shows I've noticed that do the early entry for VIPs, they don't do it the same all 3 days. So normally Sunday, they do it like either they don't do it at all or they do 30 minutes. And one of the big things where our volunteer team has grown so much, a lot of people didn't have an opportunity to like shop with vendors and stuff, or even go around to see celebrity guests. And one of the ideas that was floated to me was maybe we have like 30 minutes before the show opens on Sunday, where, you know, volunteers have a chance to go in and shop. And I'm wondering if instead of opening, you know, doing like 30 minutes early, maybe we push back VIP entry to only 30 minutes early on Sunday. I was just wondering, you know, how people would feel about that, because a lot of the VIPs by Sunday, they have already gotten 2 days worth of early entry. And yeah, I don't know. It's just something I think would be kind of cool.
I mean, yeah, you know, the positive side of like having so many celebrities, which is something everybody's still trying to figure out.
Yeah.
That we have the conversation every year. Like, how can you have 100 celebs and be able to, like, for everyone to be able to be successful?
Mm-hmm.
One thing I've noticed when the VIPs get in early is that having that many folks, like, not everybody accumulates at one. Our VIPs are very good at planning who they're going to get on what day.
Yeah.
Making adjustments. And having that many guests kind of allows that to happen. So, yeah, I mean...
we'll think about that. I got one more thing I want to play before we get to we'll give you a few minutes to say goodbye right after this.
Corey Jones is an award-winning independent filmmaker, producer, and director, as well as the founder of independent film company Jonestown Films, based in Richmond, Kentucky. An avid lover of film and the arts, Jones credits his passion for storytelling to the era of the video store and his consumption of movies with his parents, who cultivated and encouraged his writing of short stories and narrative pieces. Jones's humble beginnings in independent film began in 2009. His professional career found its footing with the inception of his low-budget offering, The Wicked One, in 2016, which he followed up with a string of micro-budget independent films. He funded his projects through private investments and crowdfunding campaigns, raising over $600,000 for his productions. Over the course of 15 years, Jones produced, directed, and co-wrote 7 feature films, before arriving at The Boy from Below, winner of the 2025 Scarefest Weekend Film Festival Best Feature Film Award, and with nominations for both the Best of Horror and Best Kill Scene Awards, which would serve as a bigger budgeted remake of his most well-known film, thus bringing his career full circle. The film also began a recalibration of his company and an expansion into different markets outside of feature films, with a focus on different facets of content creation. Join Scarefest TV next week as Wes and Chad interview this rising filmmaker.
And we're kind of back. There's Brandon. All right.
Yeah, I'm back.
Last segment of the show. However long you want it, it's yours now. I got no more shit to play. That's all. That was my creativity for the week.
That was awesome. Let's see. Well, it is 10:30, but yeah, and just let's see. VIP ticket sales. What did you say right before or while we were on break, Brandon? What was it that you wanted to talk about? What did he say? You said, oh, and this.
Oh, God.
You don't remember? It was 3 minutes ago. I don't remember what it was, though.
I have got really bad short-term memory loss this year. I blame lack of sleep and travel. And, yeah.
Is that a unicorn horn?
No.
Okay. Shoot.
Cantorian Dagger, by the way. Which, by the way, Trigger Treats did an excellent job on.
Nice. Well, I can't I can't remember what we were gonna talk about, and I don't think it was on here.
No.
VIP Spawn. Yeah.
I mean, 2026. Like, I want to make sure if anyone hasn't seen the post, like, I want you everybody needs to put their comments and stuff in there on suggestions.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you just leave me to my own devices.
We can't have that.
No, you don't want that at all. Like,
yeah,
I will.
Actually, probably a lot of them do.
Super odd shit. Like, I think everyone saw the teaser on the cards this year, so you can do it. You can take that any way you want to.
Thank you, Margaret.
I would say that we did a really cool thing with Nightmare on Elm Street this year.
Yeah.
And there are some really groovy ideas that we can roll with for next year. Along with that would be cool.
Yeah.
A lot of you guys, like when I run into folks at shows and stuff, like, I'm pretty candid about like what I want to do. So if you run into me out there, like there's some reunions that I've been wanting to do for a while that I think would be a good time to do them. Like, I kick ass for the Lord. I would really like to do that. Adrian, this is the point where you tell me to stop talking.
Oh, shut up, Brandon.
Okay, thank you.
Hold me back. Let me at him. Hold me back.
But yeah, if there's folks like my collectors out there, like the guys that I talk to, like and the VIPs and stuff, if there are folks that you're missing off, like some guest list goes off who I'm missing off of one sheet.
Yeah, sometimes that happens.
Yeah, so you can throw that out there.
All right. Well, if Brandon's getting loose slipped, we need to end the episode.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Well,
I really wish I
could.
I'll start talking about my conspiracy board.
No.
It's a living, breathing thing.
We went over this week. We'll be going over for the holiday episode. It's just over and over and over. And by the way,
when are we going to do the holiday episode?
Guys, I don't know. I did a banner. It's on my Facebook. Here, I'll tell you.
I have not been on Facebook.
It's December.
Did you use a picture of me passed out on the couch? The presidential suite?
December 19th. December 19th is our holiday episode. And December 26th, I'm going to do another call-in episode where people can either brag or bitch about Scarefest. That's how brave I am.
Yeah, I remind everybody, I don't want you to, don't bombard the page with, complaints. But if there's stuff that you... Yeah, bombard Wes.
Yes, bombard
But I definitely want to hear about some ideas. And, guys, remember in the fan page, if someone is, comes in and, isn't happy about something, don't circle seconds on them.
I made a whole post about that before the show this year and told people,
I know.
Let them.
Remember, everybody can have an opinion. We're not going to
even if their opinion is wrong. That's fine.
Yeah, nobody's doing a cash grab.
Oh God, I hate that freaking phrase. I hate it so much. If we ever get to a point where we're not living off of ramen freaking noodles, you all can say that we're having a cash grab. But until then, hush. Don't want to hear it. Mm-mm. I know that the reason everybody's saying this is because I have all of these luxurious items in my home, like my gnome Greg. I get it. I know, but I got a great deal on him. So just keep it to yourselves. Keep it to yourselves.
Shoot. By the way, Ryan did an excellent job with the costume contest.
Yes.
And I would be remiss if I did not comment on that.
Yeah, that's true. There were so many good things this year, and I didn't get to do any of them. Well, that's not true. I did get a Devil's Rejects photo op. Hold on, check this out. You all are going to... This is the first photo op I've ever gotten, and I had to run to go get it. Hold on.
Oh, and I got to put my Annabelle dolls out.
Oh, yeah, they all got stolen.
Three of the four got stolen, yes.
Oh, my gosh. Hold on, the glare is so bad. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? Look. Yeah, that was great. I love it so much.
Oh, my God, we have to change the photo op backgrounds this year.
To this?
No, not that, but we've got we've got one that's really vibrant and red, and then we've got two
that are gold.
Faded dorm room.
I think it adds to the charm. They're stiff; they can stand up on their own. We don't even have to put them up on.
No, we've got one that it's like cardboard now from the blood from the dual bloody photo op, which by the way I missed again this year.
Yeah, I never even made it down there. Did we ever end up with any booties for people to put their shoes on, put on their shoes?
I don't think so, but I just want to go on record that while I'm glad that folks had a good time, Nathan Carroll, I'm talking to you. When you come to the VIP party and I get to hang out.
Oh my God, did he get his blood on you?
And you're wearing the bloody photo op stuff still? You're just rubbing salt in the wound, man.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, hey, you want a hug? And I was like, what the? He was still tacky. His blood was still tacky. No booties, he said. Well, that was an oversight. But also, there was a whole Christmas tree incident.
Oh my God. No, wait, we've got to talk about that. No, we have to at least say something about it. Okay. So I didn't get to talk to everybody, but I got to tell this story a few times.
It's my favorite story for the weekend.
Yeah. So Zach Galligan, who, by the way, I'm a big fan of, and he is an awesome dude. And Scarlett loves him. And this is like one thing that we got at this show. Yeah. Had a photo op with a Christmas tree involved. And so I was outside getting a cup of coffee, as one does at 8 o'clock at night.
It was 6. It was 1.
Yeah, 6:01. And so Adrian calls me and she's like, hey, we've got a big problem. And I know before I ask you this, that it's my fault for not reminding you. But where's the Christmas tree? And I completely, I had no idea what she was talking about. I was like, what? And then it hit me. She's like, Zach Galligan has a photo op in 10 minutes.
3 minutes.
Well, no. It was a little bit more than 3.
No, his photo op was scheduled for 6:05. I didn't get the call until 6:01.
Okay, maybe it was 3. So I sat out there, and so she tells me, and we kind of devised like a quick plan. So she was going to call like
Melissa,
up all the things, and then I was going to call Brandy,
our event manager.
Or the event, she's the event manager, who, by the way, is the best event manager in the world
ever. Hands down.
Yeah. I would take the Pepsi challenge with Brandy over anyone in the world.
Yeah.
And so Adrian had that conversation. I had mine. And until we heard back, there was about a 5-minute window there
where we were flat out.
We had no idea what was going to happen.
I was about to dress up in all fucking green and stand there like
which would have been an option. People would have been probably disappointed. So Zach Galligan was down there in photo ops, like entertaining the crowd.
Yeah.
Because I totally screwed up this Christmas tree thing. I'm
not letting you fall on the sword on that one, man. I knew because I told Brandon months ago when we were talking about it, I was like, we need a Christmas tree. Now, if you all watch any of our videos, you will see that I have a Christmas tree right here. I could have brought it with me, but I live a lot further away and I have a much smaller car. Brandon lives 3 seconds away and has a giant SUV. So I was like, hey, man, you want to bring down a Christmas tree? And he said, yeah, I got it. No problem. But that was like 3 months before the show when we were making, the graphics and putting the photo ops out for sale. There's 10 million moving parts to the show. So I was not mad about the fact that we didn't have a Christmas tree, but we didn't have a Christmas tree. Right. And we sold a ton of those photo ops. There were a lot of people down there.
So Zach, for what I understand, and I can't say like
I was there. If you want me to tell this part,
I talked to Zach afterwards. Okay. So Zach had never sold as many photo ops, as he did at our show, and that coupled with the fact that we didn't have the Christmas tree, which was and Trick or Treat Studios had brought everything else.
Yep.
And so Matt and them at Trick or Treat Studios had put in a lot of work and brought stuff down with them. Anyway, Zach's entertaining. And so there's this 3-4 minute window where we're waiting to hear back from the center and Brandy on whether or not they have a Christmas tree and what size it is, because you can't have like a 12-inch Christmas tree. Like that would just suck.
Or a 20-foot Christmas tree.
Right. So in this where I'm standing, just waiting to see if I need to go in and tell, 100 people, guys, we don't have one. All kinds of things went through my mind. First, like I started DoorDash Christmas tree.
That's a true story.
Yeah, not happening. That literally went through my mind. The second thing, which I thought, this was a viable option, and I would have done it because I was this close to doing it, is cutting down or ripping out one of the trees from in front of the convention center. Because I thought to myself, I was like, I've got some chains, I've got a truck, I could pull one of these the ground and take it in there. And so the only thing that kept going through my mind was like walking into photo ops with this tree with like the dirt hanging off of it, and the roots, and like just plopping it down and being like, photo op done.
Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. So
yeah, like I was gonna cut like my mind went through everything. Like I was gonna chop one down.
Yeah.
I was
So
gonna Ben Franklin it.
I got down there
in it.
with the gremlin and like there were like 3 or 4 pieces, and I'm going in there and like we're carrying them in, and I go in and I was like, okay, I've got the stuff. And Zach looks at me and he's like, where's the tree? And I was like, there is a tree on the way down here right now. And he's like looking around, and the people that were waiting to come in the photo op, like the people in the front of the line could see us and hear us. So I could tell he was a little bit annoyed because it was a few minutes late already. And so I was like, okay, look, I'll go out there and talk to the people. So I go out there and I'm like, I'm breathing heavy. I just ran from the other side of the building, carrying all this stuff. And I was like, hey guys, it's me. I'm the problem. I forgot the tree. But there are Christmas trees in this building. I've seen them with my own eyes. I know that they're here. So we're just waiting on one to come down. I'm so sorry about the wait. Like it's all my fault. And everybody in that line was incredible. And they were laughing and they're cutting up and they're like, it's no problem. So we started, the photo op started like 12 or 13 minutes late. But Brandy showed up out of breath, carrying this giant bag, and she starts pulling Christmas tree pieces out of it. And I'm like assembling the Christmas tree and like I'm packing it in. She said, there's 2 Christmas trees in this bag. And I was like, oh crap. So I get in the booth and I'm like, we have 2 trees. And Zach was like, really? He's like, where's the other one? And I was like, do you want 2 trees? And he was like, yeah, go get it. So they ended up with not 1, but 2 trees in their photo op. So they actually, I think it was worth the wait. The photo ops were super cute. And like I said, I waited outside the photo op booth as people were coming out, in case anybody wanted to be mad or scowl, but everybody loved it. They were really happy with the photo op, the way it turned out. And Brandy is a freaking rock star, man, because she had to where these Christmas trees were, and we've seen the surveillance footage from the room. They're in this huge storage room, like behind a chain link fence cage. She had to climb over stuff to get back to where the Christmas trees were and pull this big bag out. And like she was moving all these totes, and you can just see like random things like flying into the frame of the camera. And then here comes Brandy with this giant bag. The bag's as big as she is. And it was incredible. And I don't know any other venue or any other venue team that would just get a call from wherever they are in the building and ask for an absolutely ludicrous request of, can you bring me a Christmas tree? And not only do they say yes, but they get there in like 8 minutes. With 2 trees.
I gotta say, like, I complain about convention center pricing.
Yeah.
If you guys ever saw like the back end of it,
yeah.
Like you would have a lot of envy for con promoters.
Yeah.
But the folks that run that center, from Melissa to Brandy, everybody down there, like, man, they are really nice folks to work with, and they've pulled some absolute crazy shit out that we've had to ask for at the last minute. Yeah, that Christmas tree thing though. Man, I was really, I really.
Yeah, and she does it in heels. Yeah, Katie. Yeah, she does it in heels too.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. But yeah, there were a lot of really great stories from this year.
Tom Kovacs rented a car and drove all the way down from Chicago.
That's true.
He was paid for a rental car.
Yeah. So I get where I book all the flights, I get all the text message emails if there's a flight change, a gate change. Every time a flight's ready to board, I get hundreds and hundreds of texts updating the flights, and unless they go in and change and update the contact information, which most of them don't. But I got an email that said, your trip has been canceled. And I was like, and it was just a number. So I had to get my computer, get the spreadsheet, search the number. And I was like, Tom Kovacs canceled his trip. And I'm panicking. And I'm like, first off, Brandon already knew. He didn't tell me.
Well, no, Sean texted me and said that like he was doing this.
Yeah.
I didn't realize, but I didn't know like what leg of the
all of it. He canceled the whole back end of his trip. He rented a car in Chicago and drove all the way down here because he was worried about flight delays and he didn't want to miss any of the show.
You know something else, like, and I've got to tell you, as much of a fan of I am as My Bloody Valentine, Tom Kovacs and Helene Udy walked up to me just oddly enough as I was walking onto the con floor, and Tom is like, "Hey, excuse me," and I was like, "Holy shit, you're Tom Kovacs." And he was like, "How do you know that?" I was like, "I run the show and I'm a huge fan." And we had a conversation like all the way back to like the green room because they were trying to buy a cheeseburger or something.
Yeah,
but
well, go ahead.
Dude, yeah, Tom Kovacs is the man. I really like Tom Kovacs.
When I was in Florida this last weekend, I was going to, it's when I had to bring the mask down to you, the sign mask that we had. I was going to get on the elevator, and these two guys were walking up, and one of them was like, "Are you Adrian?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Hi, I'm Billy." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, like I never even got a chance to Billy Worth. Like I never got a chance to talk to him at the show."
Yeah.
I
didn't get a chance to meet him either.
I was not wearing anything Scarefest. I don't know how this man knew who I was in a whole other state weeks after the show. Nicest dude ever.
Dude, no, I didn't get a chance to meet Billy or Chance. Jameson I've met before.
I didn't get to meet any of them. Jason, Jameson, Chance, or Billy. Never.
But I heard from Transportation that who was driving like Billy and all them.
Yeah.
That it was maybe like one of the top 5 conversations in a car that I've ever heard. And I would take that. Yeah. Billy was a cool guy to meet like after the fact. There were so many people like this past weekend that I had to introduce myself to.
Yep.
In another state at another show,
yep.
And they look at me like I'm insane.
Yep.
Like Ashley Lawrence.
Yeah. I didn't get to talk to Ashley this weekend, but I did talk to her on Monday after Scarefest.
I didn't get a chance to talk to her, Sean, Chris Jericho.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
I finally got to talk to all of them and just be like, "Oh, hey, I had you in Kentucky a couple weeks ago. I'm down here just having some fun, and I'm a shitty guest or host."
Yeah, it just wasn't.
Tom Woodruff.
Yeah, that's true.
Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, Tom Woodruff.
Yeah.
If you didn't meet him this year, you're at a loss. And we definitely need to have him back.
Yeah, I wanted to meet him really bad. Him and I did talk to Bill Mosley in Florida. I walked up and he was like, "What?" I got that reaction from so many people over the weekend. They were like, "You are in the wrong state. Like, what are you doing here?" Because I didn't tell anybody I was going. I didn't tell Brandon. I just happened to be on the phone with Brandon on, was it Thursday night or it was Friday? And someone started talking to me and Brandon was like, "Who is that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's one of the agents we work with." And he was like, "What is he doing in Jacksonville?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm not in Jacksonville. I'm in Orlando." Surprise. But it was a great time. And I told Bill Mosley, I was like, "I didn't get a chance to talk to you at Scarefest, so I had to come to Florida to see you." And Kane, I never got a chance to talk to Kane the whole time he was up here. But yeah, we had a lot of really, really great guests this year. I wish I'd had a chance to talk to more of them. I'm just not even going to set the expectation next year. I'm just going to assume whoever we bring, I'm not going to get a chance to talk to. I tried all weekend to make it to Emilio Rivera's table.
Oh yeah, I still have not talked to that dude, and I heard he is the nicest guy ever.
I got to talk to him on Thursday night. Like, it was late though, but at the hotel. But yeah, just for a few minutes, and I want him back if we bring him back every year, I won't complain about it. I would give up some tacos throughout the year to fund the Emilio Rivera Fund for coming back to Scarefest.
Well, I'm not opposed. I'll
Salt to the earth, man.
I'll put this out there all day long. Tom Atkins is a national treasure.
Yes.
He's protected at all costs. Tommy Lee Wallace, I did not realize for whatever reason until this year that he's from Somerset, Kentucky.
Yes. You know, he didn't fly back home until this last Friday.
Oh, yeah. No, I remember that.
Yeah. I was getting texts like, your plane and is about ready to depart. And I was like, what? Yeah, it was... it was him.
There was only one person out of Halloween 3, and I did not get one of them to sign my masks, which I'm still pissed off about, which means that I mean, I can't say this 100%, but I've brought people back before because people, like, I didn't finish out something or we didn't get an entire reunion.
Yeah.
I'm going to consider at some point, like, having Tom back. I mean, he's pushing 90 now, and he's such a good guest.
Yeah.
And Tommy Lee is a really good guest too. Like, he does the most intricate poster signings that I've ever seen. Yeah, I'm just droning on now.
All right. Well, it's almost 11. Do you want to call it? I mean,
oh, we can. I'm sorry. Yeah,
it's been great.
This is like what our normal banter is, like back and forth. Oh my God! If you guys meet Anne Marie McAvoy out on the con floor, if you see her at a show, stop in and say hi. You're not going to be a nicer person.
Yeah, we had a lot of really great guests this year.
All right, so we're calling it a night. Everybody, see us next week.